Next speaker is Mark Miles, who is our Attorney General candidate. He's making his way over here. Again, please come by Ferris wheel raffle tickets.
Hi, my name is Mark Miles. I am the Democratic nominee for Attorney General. So, a little bit of history. 4 years ago, nobody ran. So what do we get? Scott Pruitt. Again. The job of Attorney General is an important job. The Attorney General is the person whose office is responsible for making decisions that have a huge impact on the citizens of the state of Oklahoma. I'm running because I want to protect Oklahomans. I want to advocate for better policy. I want to enforce the rule of law and make sure that we're upholding the Constitution. Those are some things that I don't think have been happening over the course of the last 8 years, unfortunately. And in all honesty, it's our fault because we don't run people and we don't vote for the people when the elections roll around. So this year, 2018, we've got to change that. We need your support, we need your effort, we need your energy, we need your treasure, and we need your votes. So everybody here, and I'm probably preaching to the choir, and I understand that. But everybody should understand how important it is that we get out there this year and support, in my opinion, one of the best slates of candidates that we've ever had on the Democratic side. You've heard two wonderful candidates for the Corporation Commission. You've heard Kimberly Fobbs, who is a great candidate for Insurance Commissioner, and you've heard Fred Durrell, who is a great candidate for Labor Commissioner. In fact, he's the only one who knows what labor is of the people that are left running. You've got me running for Attorney General, and following me, we have, in my opinion, the greatest public servant who's ever worked in the state of Oklahoma, running this year for governor of the state of Oklahoma, in Drew Edmondson. Drew's going to follow me, and I did this 8 years ago. I ran for office, and we were in Canadian County, and I was going to go last, but he ended up going last, so I went before him, and I made him work for his money that night. I'm going to make him work for his money tonight. So when I talk about protecting Oklahomans, I'm talking about protecting the people from those who would do us harm, whether they're criminals, whether they're scam artists, whether they're people who would take advantage of our elderly populations or other vulnerable communities. I'm talking about protecting our land, our air, our water, so that our children can have and take advantage of the land, the air, and the water, and their children can take advantage of it. That's something that we haven't been doing a very good job of over a period of time. And then from a consumer protection perspective, working to protect consumers from the scam artists that are out there, but also the big special interests that will also take money out of our pocketbooks. We can't afford to let that happen. I'm running as an advocate for transparency and open government. And sunshine is the best disinfectant is an old saying coined by Justice Brandeis. What that means is if there's corruption out there, and there is corruption out there, it can stay hidden if you don't shine a light on it. I'm running to shine a light on those things out there that's taking money away from places that deserve it. It's money that could go to education, it's money that could go to schools, it's money that could go to health care, but money's being siphoned off by big special interests. We've got to fix that. And I'm running to enforce the rule of law and uphold the Constitution, and the rule book should apply to everybody. We need to return to the days when the motto of justice being blind really means something, so that we're not just punishing a segment of the population, we're applying the law equally to everybody. Now, my background is a little bit different. I'm an Army brat. I landed in Oklahoma in 1967. I lived in Fort Sill, went to grade school in Fort Sill, went to junior high in Lawton, and graduated from Lawton Eisenhower. I did a little bit of everything while I was in high school, but then I went to Oklahoma State University, got a degree in economics, and then I went to work for IBM for 21 years. Now, when you start adding it up, I'll tell you that maybe I was 15 when I went, but after I left IBM, I went to law school. I went to the University of Oklahoma, got a law degree, and once I got my law degree, I started working representing people mostly as a public defender. So I have a lot of experience working with people who are less advantaged than what normal people, what I'll say normal people are. They don't have the resources, they don't have the money. If I was representing them as a public defender, they were in jail because they couldn't afford to pay a bondsman to get out of jail. And ultimately, most of them got out of jail, but that meant they spent a lot of time in jail, and that takes us back to criminal justice reform. Everybody knows Oklahoma's #1 in incarceration for both men and women. Now, we just found out we were #1 in men because the statistics for that are trailing statistics. They're 2 years behind. So the 2016 results just came out fairly recently, and we didn't know it, but we found out we were on target to be #1, but we were already #1. We've taken a number of steps this year to fix the criminal justice, to make criminal justice reform, but there's more things that we can do. And when you talk about criminal justice reform, we need to put the people in prison that need to be in prison. Prisons do not need to be populated with people who are nonviolent offenders, who have no criminal history, who pose no threat to public safety. We've got to keep working to fix that problem because, and here, at the end of the day, messages that resonate to different populations for different reasons. But on the Republican side of the world, they respond to money. So, to make it a money thing, if we're spending $24,000 a year to incarcerate someone who shouldn't be there to begin with, and we're only spending $8,000 a year per student on education, that's a lot of money that's going to the wrong place. If we can fix that problem, then we can take those resources and reallocate them to places where they need to be, like education, like healthcare, like infrastructure, like other core functions of government that need to be funded. So I'm an advocate for working and fixing those problems. One of the things when you're talking about advocating for things that need to be fixed are advocating for, and this is maybe the most important function of the Attorney General's office. I mean, we make decisions about who we charge, who we don't charge, but putting the public interest ahead of special interest is, in my opinion, the most important thing the AG's office can do. So when you've got special interest out there taking money away from the taxpayers, because we all pay taxes, and reallocating it, and that money that we're taking away from taxpayers is going into the pockets of the special interest. We've got to fix those problems, and there's a number of areas around the state where we can address those issues. And I've talked to some people tonight about that, and we'll have more things coming out over the course of the campaign. But we're going to try to fix those problems, shine a light on the problems that the state of Oklahoma has, because we are a better place than what people are giving us credit for. And we, people here, and the other people around the state who aren't here, if they get that message, they'll understand that we're going to make Oklahoma a better place. That's our job, that's our goal, that's our responsibility, and we're the ones who can make that happen. I believe we will make that happen.
Excuse me, can you hold this while I put another lens on here? Thank you.
One of the questions I get, one of the questions I've gotten kind of consistently over the course of the campaign is, what are you going to do about laws that are unconstitutional? And the example that I've cited a number of times this year is, a couple of years ago, there was a measure on the ballot, it was a state question if I remember correctly, that would have allowed the state of Oklahoma to put the 10 Commandments on